time to join us. This public forum is a platform to share opinions, raise awareness, and also help in exploring solutions in order to make sure this campaign runs smoothly and successfully. First of all, bullying is one of the serious issues that bring concern in many schools. This is because it can negatively affect the students' emotional well-being, academic performance, and overall of the school environment. Therefore, school teachers, counselors, and education authorities play an important role in order to work together in addressing this problem. This is because collaboration among them helps in promoting a safe and supportive learning environment for all the students. Today, we are so lucky to have three panelists who will share their professional perspectives regarding these issues. Let me briefly introduce our panelists. Firstly, we have Mr. Muhammad Al-Nashir bin Basir, school counselor, who will provide insights regarding the effects of bullying on students from emotional and psychological. Next, we have Mr. Elvin Yap-Winkin, a school teacher who will share experiences and observations from the classroom regarding bullying behavior among the students. Last but not least, we have Mr. Muhammad Fauzi bin Abdul Jahil, our education officer, who will discuss educational policies and initiatives that help in addressing bullying in schools. Thank you for your participation in this forum. Without further delay, let us begin our discussion. Let's start with the first question. Bullying issues have broad concern in many schools nowadays. From each of your perspectives, what are the main causes of bullying and how does bullying affect the students and the learning environment? Let us begin with Mr. Alvin. As a school teacher, can you share your opinion regarding bullying based on your experiences and observations regarding bullying behavior in the classroom?
Thank you for the question. From a school teacher's perspective, bullying is a serious issue that we often encounter in the school environment. In schools, bullying can occur in several forms such as physical touch, verbal bullying, and cyberbullying. Physical bullying may include actions like pushing, hitting, or damaging a student's belongings. Verbal bullying involves teasing, name-calling, or insulting others. Meanwhile, cyberbullying happens through social media, messaging apps, or online platforms where students send hurtful messages or spread rumors. In my experience as a teacher, bullying behavior often occurs during less structured times such as group work, recess, or even through online communication among students. Sometimes, students may think they are joking with their friend, but it can actually hurt others emotionally. Bullying does not only affect the victim, but it also disrupts the overall learning environment. Students who are bullied may feel afraid, anxious, or lose confidence in themselves. As a result, they may become less active in class, avoid participating in activities, or even skip school. This situation makes it difficult for teachers to create a positive and safe learning environment for all the students. Therefore, it is very important for teachers, parents, and the school community to work together to prevent bullying and promote respect and kindness among students.
Thank you, Mr. Alvin, for sharing those valuable opinions from the classroom perspective. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Muhammad Al-Nashir, our school counselor, to share opinions from their perspective, especially the impact of bullying on the students' emotional and psychological.
Thank you. As a school counselor, I have observed that bullying can have deep and long-lasting emotional and psychological effect on students. It is not just a momentary incidents. Its impact often continues well beyond the school day and can influence a child's overall self-perception and future relationship. The first one is emotional effect. One of the most immediate impact of bullying is on the student emotion. Victims often experience intense feeling of fear, sadness, anger, and frustration. This emotion may manifest as a crying, irritability, or frequent mood swing. Repeat exposure to bullying can make students feel powerless and vulnerable, leading them to develop low self-esteem. For example, student who is mocked for their appearance for their academic performance may begin to believe that they are unhealthy than others. This emotional damage is often invisible but profoundly affect how the student interact with peer and participate in school activity. Secondly is psychological effect. Bullying can trigger anxiety, depression, and even post-traumatic stress symptoms in students. Anxiety may appear on constant worry, excessive fear of judgment, or psychological symptoms like anxious, and stomach. Some students may become hypervigilant, feeling unsafe, even in normally secure environments such as classroom or playground. In several cases, depression can develop characterized by hopelessness, lack of motivation, social withdrawal, and negative self-talk. Psychological distress from bullying can interfere with the student's ability to think clearly, constructive of study, and engage in normal social interaction. Counseling perspective as a counselor, my role is to provide a safe and confidential space for students to express their feeling without fear and judgment. Intervention include emotional support, coping strategy, and skill building such as interventions of confidence and stage management. Collaboration with teacher and parents is also crucial to create supportive school environment. Bullying is addressed and students will feel safe and valued. In conclusion, bullying profoundly affects student emotion, stability, mental health, academic engagement, and social relationship.
Thank you, Mr. Al-Nashir, for that important explanation regarding students' emotional well-being. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Muhammad Fauzi, our Education Officer, to share their perspective, especially in relation to policies and challenges faced by the school in addressing bullying cases.
Thank you. From the perspective of an education officer, bullying in school is a serious issue because it affects both student well-being and the overall learning environment. Bullying can happen for several reasons, such as peer pressure, lack of empathy, or the desire to gain attention and power among friends. In today, digital age, bullying is not limited to physical or overall action in school. Cyberbullying has also become more common through social media and messaging platforms, which makes it more difficult for school to monitor. From a policy perspective, schools are required to follow the disciplinary guidelines when handling bullying cases. Overall, one of the main challenges is that many students are afraid to report bullying incident. Because of this, it is important for school to create a safe environment where students feel comfortable speaking up and seeking help. 3-4. Cooperation between teacher, counselor, school authorities, and students is essential to address bullying effectively.
Thank you for the informative insight, Mr. Muhammad Fauzi. Thank you for all the answers. Let's move to the next question. What strategies or initiatives can school implement to prevent bullying and create a safe learning environment? Mr. Muhammad Al-Nashir, as a school counselor, can you share some possible counseling approaches and support strategies to help the students?
Thank you. As a school counselor, I would like to share my perspective on counseling approach and support strategy that can help students who experience bullying. Bullying is a serious issue that can negatively affect student emotional stability, psychological health, and well-being. Counseling intervention is very important to support students in coping with the trauma and rebuilding their confidence. Firstly, one of the most important approach I use is individual counseling. In individual counseling session, I create a safe, confidential, and non-judgmental environment where the student feel comfortable expressing their thought and feeling. Many students who are good and they keep their experience to themselves because they feel shame, afraid, or worries that others might not believe them. As a counselor, my role is to listen actively, show empathy, and help the student feel understood and supported. Through this session, students are able to release emotions, stress, process their experience, and gradually develop healthy way to manage their emotions. Secondly, I have applied cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT) technique during counseling. Students who experience bullying sometimes develop negative truth about themselves because they internalize to hurtful words or action of others. For example, they may start believing that they are weak, unworthy, or disliked by others. Through CBT strategy, I help students identify these negative truth patterns and challenge them with more realistic and positive aspects. This process helps students rebuild their self-esteem, develop a more positive self-image, and strengthen their emotional resilience when facing difficult situations. Other counseling strategies that can be effective in group counseling or peer support session. In this session, students are work together in supportive environment to share their feelings and story. Through discussion and activities, students can learn from each other coping strategy and regularly develop their social confidence. In addition to emotional support, I also focus on skill and assertiveness training. Some students may not know how to respond when they are being bullied and they feel powerless to defend themselves. I have students develop important life skills such as assertive communication, problem solving, and conflict resolution. For example, students can learn how to express their feelings confidently, set personal boundaries, and seek help from trust and when necessary. This skill empowers students to handle challenging social situations. In conclusion, as a counselor, my role is not only to help students recover from the emotional and psychological effect of bullying, but also to equip them with the skill and support they need to grow stronger and more confident. Through individual counseling, CBT technique, group counseling, social skill training, and collaboration with teachers and parents, students gradually overcome the negative effect of bullying and feel safe, valued, and supported in their school environment. That's all.
Thank you for those thoughtful suggestions. Besides that, Mr. Arvin, as a school teacher, can you share some strategies that can be implemented inside the classroom to reduce bullying behavior among the students?
Thank you for the question. From a school teacher's perspective, School can implement several practical strategies to prevent and address bullying. First, teachers should establish clear classroom rules that emphasize respect and clearly state that bullying is not acceptable in any form. At the beginning of the school year, teachers can discuss this rule with students so that everyone understands the expectation and consequences of negative behavior. Secondly, teachers should consistently encourage respectful communication among students. This can be done by modeling positive language, reminding students to listen to one another, and guiding them on how to express their opinion correctly. When students learn to communicate respectfully, misunderstanding and conflicts can be reduced. Third, teachers can promote inclusive classroom activities and teamwork. For example, using group work, cooperative learning, and class projects can help students interact with different classmates and build positive relationships. These activities encourage students to appreciate diversity, support each other, and develop empathy. In conclusion, by setting clear rules, encouraging respectful communication, and creating inclusive learning activities, teachers can help to build a safe and supportive classroom environment where bullying is less likely to occur.
Thank you, Mr. Elvin, for sharing those practical classroom strategies. Lastly, Mr. Muhammad Fauzi, as an education officer, can you share some recommendations from an educational policy perspective?
Thank you for the question. To prevent bullying effective, school must implement clear activity. Police can ensure the student understand the consequences of such behavior. Teacher training is also important because teachers are often the first to notice signs of bullying. With proper training, teacher can respond quickly and manage bullying situation more effectively. In addition, schools should organize awareness programs such as anti-bullying campaign, talk, and workshop to education students about respect, empathy, and responsibility behavior. Finally, cooperation between school and parents is very important. When school and families work together, they get supportive environment, then help prevent bullying and promote a positive school culture.
Thank you for the recommendations. From all the solutions stated by our panelists, it shows that in order to prevent bullying, it requires a collaborative effort involving the teachers, school counselor, education authorities, parents, and even the students themselves. As we come to the end of this forum, we have learned that bullying is a serious issue that affects students in many ways. For example, bullying affects their emotional health, academic performance, and also relationships with other people. However, various effective strategies stated by the panel, such as counseling support, positive classroom management, clear school policies, and continuous awareness programs, can help to create a school with a safe and inclusive learning environment. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to our panelists for sharing such inspiring and valuable knowledge during today's discussion. I would also like to thank our audience for their attention and support in promoting the anti-bullying campaign. So, let us continue working together in order to build a supportive and safe school environment